Hi, this is Food, Travel, etc. And this week we are doing baking. I will be making cranberry orange muffins, and I will be making Oreo balls and almond pecan shortbreads. The last two items are recipes on Pinterest. There will be a little bit of editing of each of the recipes, and I will let you know the modifications that I made to each recipe and how they turned out, if for the better or maybe not. Who knows? Cooking is like an interesting science. Well, happy baking this week. I needed to switch out one of the recipes I was going to make. I switched out the almond pecan shortbread for the chicken parmesan pasta. The first item I baked was a cranberry orange muffin. And as I mentioned in previous videos, I really enjoy different flavors of muffins. The cranberry orange muffin recipe I took from the website Seasons and Suppers. The only thing I did modify on this recipe was I didn't use sugar on the top of it. And I also decided to not use 4 teaspoons of baking powder. I decided to use 1 teaspoon of baking powder and 1 teaspoon of baking soda. I just had this weird feeling that if I used 4 teaspoons of baking powder, the muffin might have the taste of baking powder. I mixed the dry ingredients in one bowl, and then I mixed the wet ingredients in another. And I was using frozen cranberries, so I took the cranberries and tossed them in flour. I combined the wet and dry ingredients together, and then I folded in the cranberries. Then I then I turned on the oven and let that preheat, and I got out my muffin tins and put in muffin liners. And then I scooped in the muffin batter and put it in the muffin liners. I baked these muffins at 425 for, I believe it was about 10 minutes, and then I turned down the oven to 375. The orange cranberry muffins did puff up, but in some of the muffins, the cranberry sunk to the bottom. As I said previously, that I did coat the cranberries in flour. The muffins were sweet and tart with a hint of orange. They also turned out tender and soft. This is another recipe I would recommend with these modifications. I hope everybody's enjoying baking and cooking while being stuck inside and enjoying time with our families. Next, we're going to make cream cheese Oreo balls off the website izzy'scooking.com. This is a no-bake recipe with cream cheese, crushed Oreos or crushed cookie crumbs, and then it's made into balls and then covered in dark chocolate and white chocolate. The first thing I do is make sure the cream cheese is softened, and then I crush the Oreos. I decided to use a mixture of Oreos and crushed cookies, like dark chocolate cookies, and mix them together. And then I placed the softened cream cheese and also the Oreos and cookie crumbs together and mixed them up. And after I mixed them up, I balled the mixture together and placed it on a cookie sheet. And after I balled all the Oreo and cream cheese mixture together, I put it in the freezer to make sure it's hard, because you want to make sure it's hard enough to dip it in melted chocolate. So you have to leave it in the freezer for at least 15 minutes, maybe a bit longer. Then you'll take it out of the freezer and you'll place it on your table, and then you'll start melting your chocolate. I decided to use the microwave. I can do either way. I don't mind doing the double boiler method or using a microwave. I decided the microwave. So I chopped up my dark chocolate, put it in the microwave, and then turn the microwave on for 30-second intervals. And then after each 30 seconds, mixed up the chocolate and then threw it back in the microwave and mixed again until it became melted and shiny and glossy. And then I started dipping the Oreo cream cheese balls in the chocolate mixture, or the dark chocolate mixture, and then sprinkled cookie crumbs on top. And then I did the same with the white chocolate. This is how they turned out. There is the dark chocolate with cookie crumbs on top, and there is the white chocolate with cookie crumbs on top. And then I just did a drizzle on some of them. And my daughter has tried them, I've tried them, and they are quite delicious. They're like a truffle. I would totally recommend this recipe. The last item I'm going to make is chicken parmesan pasta. I'm going to use the ingredients from the website, The Chunky Chef, 1 pot chicken parmesan pasta. I am just going to bake it instead of the way they do it in 1 pot. I also didn't use the extra water. I will be showing you the chicken parmesan pasta casserole before it is baked. I think it might be demolished by my daughter and ex before I can show what it looks like baked. This is my parmesan pasta, and I will be baking in the oven for about 30 minutes. And that other noise you heard was my daughter at the end of that video, or end of that part of the video. Well, as you know, this is Rachel at Food Travel, etc. And I hoped you enjoyed the video. And I hope you are all staying safe and washing your hands and social distancing like we all are. Thank you for watching. Okay, this is the chicken parmesan bake, and it's just setting up, and it's almost ready to be served, just out of the oven.